happening, sweet peas? What's up? What's new? What's the gist? What be new in the hood? I'm acting goofy. And I'm acting goofy on purpose, actually. This is what is known as a comedy video. And what are comedy videos? One day I'm going to figure out the equation of a fart. And a burp. Because that's what I do. Did you know that farts and burps have mathematical equations? They do. Because they emit what is known as gas and mass. I wonder what the equation is of a booger. Hold on. Now, you might think to yourself, who is this? Who is this person? My name is Leslie Williams. That's who I am. Who am I? I am who? Hey, check that out. That's 3 words. And you can rotate the words and it says the same thing. Who am I? I am who? Yeah. Check it out. Anyways, I'm acting goofy on purpose because this is what is known as a comedy video. A silly video. And comedy videos and silly videos and goofy videos are made in order to be able to make you laugh and me laugh. Because after they're made, I watch them when time allots me the ability to do so. Check it out, dudes. Anyways, I'm hiking in California. I'm saving for a mobile home, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be buying this mobile home in this state or not. But I gotta tell you something right now. As a result of being a victim, target, and activist concerning the criminal expedition of what is known as organized stalking, which is also termed as gang stalking. Boo! As a result of being a targeted individual, in which all targeted individuals, I'd say at least 90% of all targeted individuals are made homeless by the perpetrators who are covertly managing these expeditions. Yes. And you can Google this, and you can go to Google and type in organized stalking and or gang stalking, and how they'll rent apartments next to targets, how they'll get property owners and landlords on board, how they'll get postal employees on board to steal or delay your rent, how they'll engage in gaslighting of a target at their homes, whether it be in a home or an apartment or a motel room, how they'll enter and break in targets' homes, how they'll even enter in targets' homes, whether it be apartment homes or motel rooms, and rearrange furniture, rearrange clothing, take things out of the refrigerator, and poison their food, even poison their pets and kill them. They poisoned my cat Higgins, who was my beautiful baby. I got her when she was no bigger than my hand. I'll never forget the day I got Higgins. I was on my way home from school, and I saw a sign in front of a person's house that said free kittens. And so I thought to myself, why not? I was actually going into the house to actually just see them, not get one. And here's the thing, this house had, I think the litter was like 10 cats, 10 kittens. She said she had gotten rid of already about 4. And she showed me 3 other remaining ones. And I said, well, where's the last one? She goes, well, this one's always hiding. And I thought to myself, I gotta get this cat. Okay. And I did, and I took her home. I walked up the street to my apartment. I put her on my shoulder, and then I walked inside the apartment, and we shared a fudgesicle. And we slept together, and I woke up the next morning and pooped in my bed. She pooped in my bed, and she was my baby for 14 years. And the organized stalking expedition in Michigan literally entered my apartment and poisoned her, and she died in my arms. And so you can go to Google and type in how organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions will poison targets' pets. Yes, and they'll even target the children, okay, of a target in order to enhance the mental and psychological and physiological duress that the target goes through as a result of them witnessing their own children being targeted. And I'm talking about children from literally the age of an infant to a toddler to a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, and so on. These are this is just one of the small aspects. Hang on. Of these criminal expeditions. Now, I'm aware I started acting goofy at the beginning of this video file because originally this was going to be a comedy video. But I'm a good woman. Okay, I am not involved in any illegal activity whatsoever. And let me tell you one thing about what these freaks did. They got online, and you can go to Google and type in organized stalking and/or gang stalking and cyber monitoring, cyber surveillance, cyber espionage, email hacking, email rerouting, faking email replies. Each one of those separate descriptions can be Googled and cross-referenced to organized stalking and/or gang stalking, and you'll clearly be able to see just by the amount of Google-generated responses and the web pages and YouTube videos that come up in reference to these descriptions. You will be able to deduce that these stated descriptions are methods and tactics of organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. And so what they did, they basically just did through cyber surveillance and cyber espionage. What they did was they went in and entered some of my blogs and posted information pretending to be me inside these blogs. And this information that they posted, okay, part of it's lies, the other part of it is the truth, okay? But here's the thing, see, what they try to do is reverse the perception concerning what the target is exposing, concerning the truth of what the target is exposing, and what they try to do is discredit that truth and that proof. And a way they do this is by getting online, altering and editing your blogs, pretending to be you. Okay, now like sometimes you know how like when you're pressed for time and you got to type something and you might misspell words, or even if you possibly have dyslexia, you might be spelling some words and when you spell these words, you might, like, instead of spelling T-H-E-I-R, you might spell T-H-I-R-I-E-R, okay? And they know that I got learning disabilities. So when they go in, they have went in and incorporated information in some of my blogs that I did not write, and then misspelled the words to make it appear that I did do it because of my learning disability. This is literally what they do. Because ever since this expedition has started towards me openly, being managed covertly, they have been engaging in cyber monitoring from the get-go. So all they did was look at some of the blogs and email files that I've made, and so they already automatically knew that I misspell words sometimes due to specific learning disabilities, and due to the fact that some things were written in haste in reference to not having a lot of time to go back and do a spell check or proofread. And why do they do this? They do this because of a simple factual reality that we all know that I'll put it to you this way, a greater portion of the American population does not like crimes against women. They don't like crimes against people who are disabled. They don't like crimes against babies or children. You know, they don't like crimes at all, but they have a little bit more of a tender spot in their moral code when it comes to the elderly, when it comes to these specific descriptions, because these are the people that are more vulnerable, okay? And so when they might hear of a crime that's happening against these vulnerable sections of our society, America at large, or at least viewers, will be a little bit more attentive in reference to what that particular individual that fits into those descriptions, okay, is exposing, because they want to know the truth about what's really happening to a vulnerable citizen. So what they'll do, and these people had no conscience whatsoever when it comes to them targeting these specific descriptions concerning these types of vulnerable people. Not at all, okay? Excuse me for a second. But you see, they know that you care about this stuff. And I'll get back to the reason why I know they know it, okay? And you're not going to believe it when I tell you that. So what they want to do is they want to get online and reverse your perception about me and about any other targeted individual that they're also doing this to, in reference to cyber surveillance and then cyber espionage. and getting online and even pretending to be the target. Or they'll get online and pretend to be a fellow target in order to try and get you to trust them, meet them, trust them, and then they'll perpetrate crimes against you, including by calling you crazy after a staged incident. They're used as a witness, or they'll even call the police and say, this person's saying that they're being stalked by people they don't know. We suggest they're crazy. Yeah, it's called baiting the target, okay, into a relationship. And they do engage in what is known as intimate infiltration. And so what they do is they'll enter my blogs and my email files and write things in there that I did not write that will reverse the perception concerning you viewing my blogs, concerning reversing your perception about what kind of a person I am. That's why periodically in some of my videos I'll state that I am not involved in any illegal activity whatsoever, because I'm not. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm a Christian. This is a picture of baby Jesus being held by our Mother Mary, and angels silhouetting them. This is another picture of baby Jesus with Mother Mary. And I'm a Christian, and I try my best to live my life to where it reflects the identity of what it means to be a practicing Christian. Okay? I am not involved in any illegal activity whatsoever. I do not do drugs, I do not drink, I do not sleep around, I do not steal, and I am not crazy in any way, shape, or form. But these organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions, what they want to do is paint you as being some type of social deviant. They want to paint you as being a threat to yourself or others, or they want to paint you as being delusional, crazy, schizophrenic, paranoid schizophrenic, bipolar, schizoaffective, delusional, any mental diagnosis that they can put on you in order to discredit the truth concerning you, in order to deflect the truth that the target is exposing, by reversing the perception about the target. So when the viewers view the target's blogs and YouTube videos, once their perception has been reversed, they will no longer pay attention to what is happening to a target. Okay? Because what they're doing is targeting the vulnerable. These people target anybody, make no mistake about it. And I'm not saying that the vulnerable sections of our society are no more important than the other people of society who might not have these vulnerabilities. But what I am saying is that if you look at how they will even target the vulnerable, that will take you one step closer to seeing their true nature. Now, I'm going to direct you to a statement here in reference to how deceitful that these perpetrators have in reference to their mentality and their nature. Excuse me for 1 second though, please. I'm drinking my chicken broth. I'm taking a break from tying up loose ends, and as I'm taking a break, I'm smoking a cigarette, which I gotta stop doing. And I'm drinking some chicken broth in order to be able to help my electrolytes in my brain. I like acting goofy sometimes. But anyways, listen to this. There's a manifesto that was written by a manager of organized stalking, gang stalking crews. This particular manager, I don't know if he just got disgruntled with being a member of the syndicate, or he maybe just decided after he got involved in the syndicate that he didn't like it. Whatever his motivation was for writing this manifesto, I will never know, because I do not know this person, and he don't state the reason why he's making the manifesto. But this is what he did. I think it's a he. It could be a she, though. So what this person did, who is a manager of gang stalking, which is also called organized stalking, is that this individual, what he did was he went offline, okay, which means that he typed, or she, I'll just refer to him as a he in this video. This person went offline, which means they went into a word program, from what it appears, and typed in who they are, who they're connected to, how they operate, how they label targeted individuals into separate types of groups. Like one can be a practice target, one can be an enemy target, one can be a planning target, and I forget the other one. And then he states basically who they can be connected to, and in part how they operate, and a little bit of their thinking concerning what kind of people they are. Now, and how they have taken the pulse concerning the community at large, in reference to taking the pulse of the community that they might be operating in. Now listen to this. In the manifesto, it flat out states that what they'll do is use community members that have been stricken down by crime that is happening in their community. Okay, and how do they do this? Well, hang on. when they're operating in any specific community, in any specific city, in any state, what they'll try and do is ascertain what type of community that is in reference to the city, the location, the town, or whatever. And if they if they take the pulse, or should I say this, the profile of what that community is about, is it a high crime ridden community? Is it more of an affluent community? Is it a community of middle class and possibly lower class in reference to income? Okay, what they'll do is they'll take a profile of what type of community it is in reference to crime, lack of crime, what type of population lives in this community in reference to their income, even the cultural profile of a community. Is it black, white, is it mixed, whatever. And so in this manifesto, it flat out states that what they'll do is, if they're in a community where there's a lot of crime going on, or if it's a community that's proactive in reference to getting rid of crime that might be in their community, or trying to enter their community, they'll take the pulse of what that community profile is about. And he literally stated in the manifesto that it's very easy for them to get help from the community if it's a community that's got crime in it, because they want to get rid of it. And so as a result, what they do is lie about who the target is. Paint them as a picture of being a criminal or a social deviant of some kind in order to excite them to harass a target for them for free, based on this slander. Go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger," and you'll see in part as a preliminary introduction in reference to how they operate and how easy it is for them to dupe a community member to harass an innocent person based on the prestige of either a real badge or a fake badge and a lie. Okay, that's a preliminary introduction in reference to how they work. Also, what they'll do is that they'll also try to get to know anybody that they can in reference to what type of personality they got, whether it be an individual or a group, in order to then tailor the slander they say about a target to fit the personality of that person or group. And in turn, it excites and entices their personality to be activated, so they will be more easily or prompt to harass a target, because the slander they're telling that person or group is tailored to excite the personality of that person or group about the target. In other words, I'm a good woman, okay? I'm not going to say if I'm pro-life or if I'm or if I believe in abortion rights. But say if I didn't believe in it, say if I'm pro-life, what they'll do is try to get me to say that I'm for abortion rights, okay? Or like, since if I'm pro-life, what they'll do is try to get me to talk about pro-life issues, and then take those statements, record them by video or by cell phone, and then what they'll do is take those statements and approach abortion right activists, okay? And then take that audio and video, couple it with a separate lie, and then use that to excite their personality, okay, to harass me for them. They're called pawns in the manifesto. Okay, so I strongly suggest you review that manifesto online. You can go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager of organized stalking, gang stalking crews. He even flat out states that he's a manager of gang stalking, and he flat out states these things in it if you review it meticulously. And if you can't find it by its link, you can find it copied and pasted in its entirety in some of my blogs. Now, this is another thing that's going to blow your mind in reference to their audacity to show you what kind of criminals they really are. These people are criminals that are involved in land co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation, identity theft, human trafficking rings, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings. Ramona Lopez is stating, you can go to Google and type in Ramona Lopez. She was a California target. Type her in. And from what she's stating, it highly appears that they're also involved in drug dealing. Okay? Any type of crime that you can imagine they're involved in, including being attached to what is known as Agenda 21. Okay? So, what they'll do is that what they'll do in order to be able to present themselves to the community that they're soliciting the harassment from is showing fake badges, real badges, bogus criminal investigation files about a target, which means that they are nothing but criminal investigation files that are made to make it look like they're official. And in these bogus criminal investigation files, information is put in there to make the investigation file look totally legitimate, and the statements that are made in this bogus criminal investigation file totally defame the target, because it's filled with slander about the target. But since the actual criminal investigation file looks real, and it's combined with slander and possibly a real badge or a fake badge, then whoever they're soliciting to harass the target for them is going to do it because they've been duped. Now, in this manifesto, it also flat out states that since they walk around pretending to be the upright citizens of the community, along with presenting fake badges or real badges, and when they present a fake badge, they don't say that it's a fake badge, okay? Because then that would basically expose what they're doing. So what they'll do is they portray themselves to be the upstanding community members of the community. And they will purposely make sure that the community sees them involved in charities, any type of other event that might benefit the community. Yeah. And it literally states it in the manifesto that they do this so they can be seen as in a positive light. Yeah. It literally states this. This is how devious these people are. They are involved in charities, okay, that are supposed to be set up to help homeless people or domestic violence victims, while in turn, from behind the scenes, they're involved in human trafficking of young men and women and even children. Yes, drug dealing, okay, prostitution rings, sexual servitude rings, mortgage co-opting. You know what happens to mortgage co-opting, gang stalking targets like Beth Donahue, a San Diego target? Their homes are taken from them, all their property is stolen, they're blacklisted from employment so they can't even take their property out of the home and put it in a storage shelter, and then they're put out on the street, and then they try to make that target a victim of human trafficking. This is the little audacity of these criminals. And these criminals, and the manifesto flat out states that these criminals are in the police department, the fire department, doctors and area hospitals, corrupt mental health. It flat out states in the manifesto that entire police departments have been taken over. Okay? And even police officers who are uncorrupted can be gang stalked. Yes. So my name is Leslie Williams. You know, when you look at the end of the day about what's happening to innocent targets like me, who are literally doing nothing wrong whatsoever, trying to survive this crime, trying to expose this crime, living in the effects of this crime, being portrayed as the criminal, okay, so I can be harassed by the community at large, and everything I expose is being exposed in order to try and protect the community, because as they dupe these community members to harass me, while they're engaging in the harassment, are they being nearly choreographed by the same criminal group that got them to harass me? Go to Google and type in Live Leak, Greg Skamansky, and Julian McKinney. In this radio interview, and in the text summary that covers the radio interview, it flat out states that the persons they're getting to harass a target on the dispensing end, which 90% of the time is nothing but duped community members, they are the ones who are currently being choreographed. Now, when you look at the title of the radio interview, you might think to yourself, what does this mean? Well, I don't understand this aspect of it. Go to the bottom of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance and look on the very bottom of their homepage. You'll see 3 PDF links: remote neural monitoring, remote behavioral influencing technology, and directed energy weapons. Because these people are directly connected to, in reference to how they have specific technological resources that the average American citizens has no clue is out there. Yeah, like devices called the Neurophone as well. Go to surveillanceissues.com. And go to YouTube and type in John Hall Satellite Terrorism. Listen to all of his older videos, and then go to YouTube and type in John Hall Satellite Terrorism, January 2013, how he was covered on Coast to Coast. Listen to those. Did you know that also targets of this crime are also subject to non-consensual human experimentation as a result of this technology that they can expedite towards a target from a remote distance? So the research in reference to the neural and physiological manipulation from this technology can be sold to criminal groups, the government, research facilities, torture. Targeted individuals like me and my other fellow brothers and sisters, okay, have been covered on Jesse Ventura Brain Invaders show, Conspiracy Theory. YouTube that. Yeah. We've been covered on local news broadcasts. We've been covered on Coast to Coast National Radio Show. Even Ground Zero did a show concerning us right before the Boston interview happened. And a San Diego target was on that radio interview. You know, but I gotta tell you though, these broadcasts, whether it be radio or TV, in part they have been marginalized. Okay, because the government's only going to allow through FCC regulations and through these, by even pressuring sponsors that sponsor these TV and radio shows. And the media outlets are also subjected to pressure from government officials who are involved in these organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. They can be pressured easily, make no mistake about it, okay? Along with newspapers, along with TV crews can be marginalized, okay, and told what to do and what not to do. Yes, and when you think about it, at the end of the day, these places can be sued by the government if they don't cooperate, tied up in legal fees endlessly. They will spend you to death in court just to make sure you have no money left to eat in order to survive this campaign. Because the whole goal at the end of the day is vilifying a target, nullifying a target, and what is known as menticide. And menticide is where they kill you who you are mentally. Yeah. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I make these video files to inform, to expose the truth concerning the factual realities of these organized gang stalking expeditions and what they're all about and how they operate. So you can deconstruct how they operate in order to be able to filter through the lies they perpetrate and use about a target. And so you can see what's happening to us targets, so you can know the truth about what's happening to us targets. They use Social Security workers, Medicare workers, businesses like you would not believe. That's achieved through the community notification. Social services workers. They will do anything and everything to make sure that a target remains isolated in these campaigns while destroying everything they got, stealing everything they got, and taking all their resources away from them. Because you can't entrain a person for sexual servitude rings using remote neural monitoring to stimulate what's entrained if a person can stay financially independent from them or the places that they can covertly control, that they try to put a target in, like group homes, institutions, jails, prisons. Yes, so these crimes can continue in these places as well. My name is Leslie Williams, and so what they basically do is put us out on the street and then use the community at large to harass us, to break us down mentally, psychologically, financially. They will take me off Social Security, make no mistake about it, in order to be able to exploit the circumstances that are created as a result of the financial destitution, because everybody has to eat, and how will I get around? Because they will eventually steal my bikes as well. I went through 3 bikes in Michigan. I went through 4 cars in Michigan because of them. Staging vehicle accidents. Yes. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Victims like me, we never get no help, because they make sure we never get no help, because it's organized crime in the system. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. Do you honestly think that they're going to allow these businesses that they've used, public libraries, universities, banks, post offices, they have solicited to engage in gang stalking of me and other targets when they enter these descriptions, okay? And they solicit them to engage in gang stalking towards us when we enter these descriptions, like universities, public libraries, businesses, and that's achieved through the community notification. So do you honestly think, since a government official is managing these crimes and perpetrating them, do you honestly think that they're going to allow these places to be sued? Because then they could turn around and say, look, you solicited us to do this towards him or her when she entered our environment. Now you're leaving us wide open to a lawsuit. You either protect us or we'll spill the beans. Okay? So you better believe any case that I ever file, like a civil suit or a criminal suit, will be pipelined before a syndicated judge in order to protect the places they've used and the employment descriptions used. And these are the heinous factual realities of these organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. All of my constituted guaranteed rights have been nullified and voided, along with all my Bill of Rights. I can get no help. So what I do is to expose these